Yes, now we are moving on to the second session. First question: who is known as the poet of English Renaissance? Who is known as the poet of English Renaissance? Options: Shakespeare, Marlowe, Robert Greene, John Lilly. Answer: Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe is called the poet of English Renaissance. He is also called the precursor of Shakespeare. The precursor of Shakespeare or the predecessor of Shakespeare. He is also the famous among the university wits. Okay, then second question. Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. In which play you can see these lines? Once more, life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. This is a famous quotation regarding life. And in which play you can see these lines? Options: Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, Hamlet. These are the four great tragedies of Shakespeare, and these lines come in the play Macbeth. Okay, then next question. Who is known as the father of essays? Who is known as the father of essays? Options: Voltaire, Rousseau, Aristotle, Montaigne. Answer: Montaigne. Montaigne is the answer. Then next one, Montaigne is a French writer and he is known as the father of essays. Next one, who is called the father of English essays? This is a confusing question. The father of essays is Montaigne. Then next question is, who is known as the father of English essays? Options: Keats, Charles Lamb, Bacon, Shakespeare. Here the answer is Bacon. Francis Bacon is called the father of English essays. The father of essays is known as Montaigne, but the father of English essays is Bacon. The next question, who called Spenser the poet's poet? Who called Spenser the poet's poet? Spenser is a famous writer who wrote Prothalamion, Epithalamion, Fairy Queen, etc. And his full name is Edmund Spenser. And here the question is, who called Spenser the poet's poet? Options: Charles Lamb, John Keats, William Wordsworth, John Milton. Answer: Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb is the famous essayist and he is known as Elia, or he receives the pseudonym Elia, and then he writes essays. And his autobiography is known as Essays of Elia. Then next question, who is the first black woman poet to read her poem at the inauguration of President Bill Clinton? Once more, who is the first black woman poet to read her poem at the inauguration of President Bill Clinton? Options: Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, Elizabeth Browning, Maya Angelou. Here the answer is Maya Angelou, and the poem that she read is On the Pulse of Morning. On the Pulse of Morning is the poem that she read at the inauguration of President Bill Clinton. Okay, then next question, who is not a metaphysical poet? Who is not a metaphysical poet? Metaphysical poets, it is a famous branch or it is a famous category. Here, which one is not a metaphysical poet? Options: Andrew Marvell, Abraham Cowley, John Donne, Robert Frost. Answer: Robert Frost. Robert Frost is an American poet. Here, Andrew Marvell, Abraham Cowley, John Donne, All these are metaphysical poets, and the greatest among them is John Donne. John Donne is famous for his valediction forbidding mourning, canonization, etc. Okay. Then the next question, the term metaphysical was applied to John Donne by dash. The term metaphysical means beyond physics. Metaphysical was applied to John Donne by dash. Options, Dryden, Pope, Dr. Johnson, Ben Jonson. Answer, Dryden. John Dryden used the term metaphysical to refer John Donne. Next one, who is not a cavalier poet? Who is not a cavalier poet? Options, Thomas Carlyle, Richard Lovelace, Sir John Suckling, George Herbert. The answer is George Herbert. Here, cavalier poets. Cavalier poets are the group of poets who wrote under the patronship of James I. And the important cavalier poets are Thomas Carlyle, Richard Lovelace, Sir John Suckling, etc. Here, George Herbert belongs to metaphysical poetry. The next one, who is called the nature poet? Who is called the nature poet? Options, Keats, William Wordsworth, Shelley, Byron. Answer, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is called the nature poet, and he says that, or he remarked that, nature is my sister, guide, and my mother. Then next one, the poet known as the saint of the metaphysical school. The poet who is known as the saint of the metaphysical school. Options, George Herbert, Abraham Cowley, Henry Vaughan, Andrew Marvell. Answer, George Herbert. George Herbert is the answer, and he is known as the saint of the metaphysical poets. Next one, who wrote the elegy Lycidas on the death of Edward King? Who wrote the elegy Lycidas on the death of Edward King? Here, the options are Keats, John Milton, Shelley, Tennyson. Answer, Milton. John Milton is the poet who wrote the elegy Lycidas on the death of his friend Edward King. Edward King is his close friend, and John Milton wrote Lycidas on the death of Edward King. Here, elegy is a poem lamenting the death of a person. Next one, who remarked the proper study of mankind is man? The proper study of mankind is man. Options, Alexander Pope, John Dryden, John Milton, William Shakespeare. Answer, Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope said that the proper study of mankind is man. Alexander Pope and John Dryden are known as the famous mock epic poets. Okay, then next one. Which is the spiritual autobiography of John Bunyan? Which is the spiritual autobiography of John Bunyan? Options, The Pilgrim's Progress, Canterbury Tales, Paradise Lost, Rape of the Lock. Answer, The Pilgrim's Progress. The Pilgrim's Progress is an allegory, and it is the spiritual autobiography of John Bunyan. Canterbury Tales is a famous work of Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is known as the father of English poetry. Then Paradise Lost is the famous work of John Milton. Paradise Lost and the Paradise Regained are his famous works. Then Rape of the Lock is the famous work of Alexander Pope. It's a mock epic poem, and this poem is of Alexander Pope. Okay, then next one. Which poem of Thomas Gray is the supreme expression of his poetic genius? Which poem of Thomas Gray is the supreme expression of his poetic genius? Options: L.G. written a country churchyard, Lycidas, Indian Abbey Lines, The Unknown Citizen. Answer: L.G. written a country churchyard. Here, in the poem, the L.G. written a country churchyard, he is lamenting on the degradation of moral values. Thomas Gray is known as the transitional poet. Okay, then next one here. Lycidas is the famous poem of John Milton. Indian Abbey Lines was written by William Wordsworth, and The Unknown Citizen was written by W.H. Auden. Then next question. My love is like a red, red rose. These lines are attributed to dash. My love is like a red, red rose. It is a famous quotation. And who is related to these lines? Options: Robert Frost, Robert Greene, Robert Burns, and John Keats. Answer: Robert Burns. Robert Burns is related to these lines. My love is like a red, red rose. The next one, who is known as Elia? Elia is the pseudonym. Pseudonym means pen name. Elia is the pen name, and whose pen name is Elia? Options: Bacon, Charles Lamb, G.B. Shaw, John Milton. Answer: Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb wrote under the pseudonym Elia, and his autobiography is called The Essays of Elia. His famous work is The Dream Children. The Dream Children is his famous work. Okay, then in which year Rabindranath Tagore won Nobel Prize for Literature? In which year Rabindranath Tagore won the Nobel Prize for Literature? Rabindranath Tagore is the first Asian to win Nobel Prize for Literature, and in which year he got the Nobel Prize? Options: 1913, 1914, 1915, 1916. Answer: 1913. Next question. Who wrote the famous work The Guide? Who wrote the famous work The Guide? Options: Mulk Raj Anand, R.K. Narayan, V.S. Naipaul, Mahashweta Devi. Answer: R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan's famous novel is The Guide. R.K. Narayan's setting is Malgudi. Malgudi is a village. Malgudi Days is his famous work. Okay, then which is the autobiography of Kamala Das? Kamala Das or Kamala Suraya. In Malayalam, she wrote under the name Madhavikutti. And what is her autobiography, or which one is her autobiography? My Experience, My Story, Story, Her Story. Answer: My Story. Okay, these are the answers today. Hope it is beneficial to you. Thank you.